Yeah. 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 I wake up, check the chart glow. Green bars, red bars, let the spark show. Wallet on lock, eyes on the depth. Every move got weight, every click got breath. TradeFly car said, watch that spread. One bad entry, put a crown on your head. I don't chase hype, I read that flow. When the candles lean, I already know. Stacked in the cold, feet on the floor. One eye on the exit, one eye on mo. Bitcoin talking with a choppy grin. I've been in the storm, still I dive right in. Bull or bear, I don't fold. TradeFly talk that truth, gold. Bull or bear, I don't freeze. Buy that dip, let it breathe, let it breathe. Bull or bear, I don't fold. TradeFly talk that truth, gold. Bull or bear, I don't freeze. Ride that way, let it breathe, let it breathe. Bear market hit, but I kept my nerve. Patience like steel, that's the first day curve. Blood in the chart, folks panic and plead. I stay calm while the numbers bleed. Bull market come, now the room get loud. Screens all bright, everybody got proud. TradeFly grin when the range get tight. Buy when they scared, then you sleep at night. No fake flex, just a patient grind. Risk on the leash and the plan in mind. Take my profit, let the rest roll through. With some, lose some, still I'm built for the view. Low tide, high tide, same cold face. Same sharp hands in the same hard race. TradeFly said don't let emotion steer. That's how you last when the smoke gets near. Bull or bear, I don't fold. TradeFly talk that truth, go. Bull or bear, I don't freeze. Buy that dip, let it breathe, let it breathe. Bull or bear, I don't fold. TradeFly talk that truth, go. Bull or bear, I don't freeze. Ride that way, let it breathe, let it breathe.
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode. My name is TradeFly, bringing you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. And we got a key level to look at today on the charts. Don't worry, we're going to get there. I'm going to show you guys how to get in, how to get out, and exactly what I'm going to look at when that trade actually approaches. I'm going to give you the sauce. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do is give me a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. That being said, let's say what's up to a couple homies in the chat. We got my man All Set in the house. How you doing? We got Jesse. Good look. How you doing? And of course, the best mod in all the space, Alexandra G. Lava Man. Let's go. What up to you? Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's go over to the crypto bubbles. Let's get this party started. We see a sea of green out there. Thank you, the Lord, baby Jesus. We got to bounce off a very key level. We'll look at that again once we get to the charts. Hash is up 15.3%. Uni is up 11.9%. Meme coin getting smacked around. It is 11.8% to the negative. Over to the total market cap sitting at 2.21 trillion, up 1.44%. And fear and greed index is at 38, which is fear. Bitcoin is at 64,774. That is up 1.62%. And Ethereum is at 1917, up 1.2%. Bitcoin dominance at 58.8%. That is up since the last time we have talked. All right. Let's go over to the next segment. That is going to be the Daily Degen. Get your guys' votes in now. You can see the poll over in the chat. Vote, because what we do is I take a position on whatever it is you guys want to do. Whether you want to go long, you want to go short. We don't really do any TA on it. We just full send it. But let's go ahead and get the pod started. All right, the Daily Degen. All right, let's see what you guys got going on right now. You guys are 100% doom. What? 100% doom? That's wild. Okay, that's not like you guys. You guys are usually bullish AF all the time. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and we're going to put 5 on it. Here we go. So 5 we go. This is not how I normally trade, by the way. All right, I'm more professional than this, I promise you. All right, 20x short because you guys are calling for doom. And here we go. It is in there. We'll come back and check on that. All right, let's go over to the liquidation heat map because we got a key level to look at here. Now, this is on the 3-month, not the 3-day. Typically, we're on the 3-day. Today, we are on the 3-month. Why? I want to zoom out. I want to see where the bulk of the liquidations we're sitting at. Where is the biggest, strongest level that's closest to the price action? And sure enough, shorty, 67.5. All right. So I want you to take a mental note of that. 67.5, but don't you worry, I got you covered. It's already on the chart. 67.5 has been highlighted. I did have it at about 67K, right? Because we've been talking about 67K for a multitude of reasons. There's a lot of confluence there. All right, there's a lot of confluence, and I want to beat that up. I'm going to beat it up because, honestly, like, I can be like, hey, you can look here, you can look there, look here, there, everywhere. Let me give you a key level. Let me give you the level that I am looking at right now. It is at 67K. All right, so there it is. There's the sauce. Not hiding it. Previous week high. High volume node. Quarterly pivot. And liquidity. All sitting somewhere around 67 to 67. We'll call it 5. Okay? That is right now on the chart for me the most confluence on the chart. Okay? And it makes a lot of sense, right? That's where you had your rejection. Come back left on the chart. That's where you had your pivot. And for price to work its way back up, very possible. Now, you do have some, we'll say, intermediate levels of resistance to get through before you even get there. You got the Trend Reaper moving average. You can see that right now. It is respecting that. You got to get over it. So you could get some kind of price action in that zone where it bounces around a little bit before ultimately trying to make that move up. We might be able to exploit that, my friends. Okay, it could ultimately go up. Probable. All right, not saying it's going to. So don't be like, oh, TradeFly, you said it was going to break out to the upside. Not what I'm saying. But where we can make some money is in here. Okay, and this range right here is where we can make some money. And you know what? By we, I mean me, because I can't give you financial advice. It is up to you guys. Hey, Steve, what's up, dude? Good to see you in the chat, man. Hey, go to the Discord, my Discord. And I actually posted something in there because when I went back, yes, I do go back to the chat sometimes. I saw that you had a request in there. So in my Discord, I think it's under general. I did reply to you there. All right. So there's some potential right here. All right. Right around 67K. So what could we look at? Well, potential for a short, right? Let's see, you got this wick over here to the left, so you want to protect yourself. Can we get a 2-to-1 in here? Absolutely. Absolutely, we can get a 2-to-1. Now, not a big move, only a 2% move, so might need a little touch of leverage, right, to make that juice worth the squeeze. But for me, you know I'm going to use some leverage, right? But I'm going to keep a close stop loss, and I'm going to protect myself. Okay, so knowing this, we're armed with this. All right, we know we have a zone or a level that has a lot of confluence in it. And we're looking, for a potential trade setup. I'm going to go ahead and download this. That way I can drop it in the Discord. And then let's look at the opposite. Okay, let's say that you get an impulse move, because if you're looking for a potential short setup and you get an impulse move through the zone, right? You got to read the price action. You got to understand that, like, it's not always a given. You got to be fluid. You have to be you have to read the charts a little bit, right? You can't just always just set it and forget it. So if you get that impulse move through, then you're looking for a continuation trade. Okay, coming back left on the chart, what do you see here? A lack of volume, and it's validated here, a real lack of volume. Okay, so that actually opens up the door for quite a nice move to the upside. Now, how far it goes back down in terms of the stop loss, that's going to be tough, right? But if you're looking at the low of the range here and you're front running the volume, the previous month high, and the supply in terms of this move down, right, where this pink candle is, then I'd say an 8% move to the upside is pretty probable, realistic. Let's actually move that up a little bit. Move it up a little bit more, right? Let's say we're a little slow to get into this one, and we'll take the bottom of the zone there. Still 7%. 7%, you may not even need any leverage at all. And the stop loss is really going to be weighed based on kind of the wick, where it comes back down to on this retest. Okay, but a 2-to-1 is definitely in play. You got a big buffer there. 3.38% is pretty nice in terms of looking at a stop loss. So the opportunity is very much there. Okay. Now you take a key level, right? A level that has been respected before. So when you're looking at whether you can take a short and a long, and you're looking at the same level for either or, which is you'll see this. I like to do that a lot because I'm waiting to see what is the reaction to that level, and then I have a trigger. Let's take this one step further. All right, one step further. So what I like to look at is the order book, the order flow. Very interesting that I saw somebody talking about this on X. They posted on X, and they basically said you don't need it. Valid. You don't need it. But damn if it doesn't give you some confluence. It helps, trust me, because when you look at these concepts, if you're looking at ICT, if you're looking at smart money concepts, a lot of it, there's some patterns involved. All right, there's some sweeps of liquidity involved. There's definitely structure involved. There's a lot of things that are involved with that, and they overlap a little bit, which is very interesting, right? Because I'm a liquidity guy, right? I very much, I look at where the liquidity is in terms of liquidations. I look where the liquidity is in terms of passive orders. I am very much a liquidity guy. I think that's what drives the market. All right, that's my feeling. That's my strategy. But the concepts, they do overlap. But the thing is, this is showing you where that liquidity resides. Okay, so that's an important aspect. Right now, what you're seeing is there is some liquidity or passive orders sitting right now. And you can see it's kind of laddered in. That's a good sign, especially if you want to see it hold up. That starts at about 65.1 and on up. But let's talk about what we would look for specifically to 67K. Okay, right now, you can see, look at this. Look at how they're laddering in. See how it's laddered in? And it's all the way up to 66.5, and then it's kind of dark. But you can see these laddered positions as it approaches that level. That's step one, right? But let's break it down in terms of like if we were to see this. I want to give you some examples. Now, you have to work with me here, okay? Because what I'm going to say right now is going to pertain to this right here. Yet, what I'm trying to articulate to you is that if we see this up here, closer to 67K, then this is how I'm going to attack this trade. This is how I am going to approach it. But I need this to show you, to articulate, all right? Because it's more prominent. It's visually, for you guys, it's easier to understand. So let's pretend this is 67K or around 67K, okay? We're pretending. You need to understand that. So as price works its way up, a couple things that I'm going to be looking for. Down here, you have open interest CVD. Initially, as we approach this level, again, we're pretending this is 67K. As we approach that level, you're going to likely see open interest start to trend down. Why is that? Shorts are covering, long positions are taking profit. Okay, step one. That's good. Okay, now that's what you want to see. That is what you want to see. You need to understand that part. Then CVD, you're going to want to see that start to trend down. Even better if you get divergence. What do I mean by divergence? Price go up, CVD go down. Simply put, price go up, CVD go down as you approach a key level. That right there is going to be a very nice sign that the shorts are more aggressive. Very simply put, the shorts are more aggressive going into a key level of resistance. Cool. That for me is going to be a huge validation that you are likely to see an initial reaction that results in a rejection. Hopefully that makes sense. So you work your way up. Let's say, all right, I've given you the key or the trigger that you want to see. Let's say you don't see that. Let's say that price action goes up, CVD is continuing to go up, and open interest is going up. What does that mean? This is where the concepts fail. The people that use these concepts, these patterns, I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up for freaking disaster by using patterns, because patterns are a 50-50 shot. It's 50-50. I'm freaking telling you. I've tried the patterns. The patterns just blow up in my face more so than they work. The order book, the order flow is going to be a validation to help you kind of determine of whether that pattern or that concept or the reaction to that level is likely or more probable to play out. It's all about statistics. It's all about probabilities, because that is all you can do as a trader. You cannot control the price action unless you're not controlling Bitcoin. I don't even care if you're a whale. You're not controlling Bitcoin. You're not. The market is controlling Bitcoin. Okay? So, getting to that level, and you see what I call the trifecta: price action, CVD, open interest, approaching that level, or whatever stupid pattern that somebody has drawn, which somebody may have a pattern drawn, let's say it's 67K. But if you see the trifecta of those three things pushing up, what is more likely to happen? Understanding that the market is telling you that more market participation is coming in, and that market participation is skewed towards longs. If it is skewed towards longs as you approach a key level of resistance, the probability is that the price action continues to go up. You might see an initial rejection, right? Because you have passive orders on the books. What you're likely to see as the market is driving to the upside, what you're likely to see is what's called absorption. Let's talk about that. So if you have these passive orders and it just goes stagnant, or you see a little bit of a rejection, right? That is reaction to those passive orders. And I have seen it. I have watched it. All right, it's mesmerizing. I have watched it sit there for 15, 20 minutes as the passive orders just suck it up. They literally just suck up that market participation, and it just literally sits horizontal, doesn't move. Very, very important to understand. Now, what you would likely see is probably some of these gray bubbles. In this instance, you would see something like this, right? This little gray bubble here. All right, so that volume, the delta is skewed towards the longs or the buys pushing into that. All right, but it may just go horizontal. But if it just stays there and the market is pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, it's like a tree. You keep chopping at that thing, it's likely to fall. Or if you see a rejection, comes back up, tries again. What do we see right here? A rejection. What's it going to do? It's probably right now looking like it wants to come back up and try it again. So if it comes back up and try it again, the probability that it breaks down on the second or the third attempt is more likely. So that's what you got to look for in terms of what am I looking for? Order flow, and the market. Does it always play out? No, it doesn't always play out, but I'm telling you, statistically, the probabilities are more in your favor if you take this into consideration. This is absolutely free. Market Monkey Terminal, absolutely free. I have a link. If you want to use it, use it. If not, it doesn't do anything for me. I don't care. Like if you use a link or not, you can just go and sign up. All you're doing is giving me a little credit, give me a little clout with the company, right? Because they're like, oh, cool, he's bringing people over. I would appreciate that. I would also appreciate, I'll take the time out here, like and subscribe. If you're learning anything right now, I would appreciate that. I think what I'm going to start doing as well is I'm going to do 50 likes, $50 every stream. I'm going to start that. I will start that today. I will start it today. If I get 50 likes during today's stream, I'll give out $50 USDT. So if you haven't liked it, like it. You guys help me keep track of this. Hard for me to see real time. All right, so that's a couple different scenarios that you can look at for Bitcoin. Let's look at USDT dominance real quick, just to kind of see where that's at. Obviously, inverse relationship. And again, we talked about this area right here. You have a ton of resistance. All right, it's going to be really tough. But this is good for Bitcoin, right? If you're running into a bunch of resistance for USDT dominance, inverse correlation, inverse relationship, if dominance goes down, Bitcoin go up. It is relatively that simple. So if you were looking for a short and you're looking at USDT dominance, You have broken the moving average. Check, that's good. Now you have this horizontal level of support. Support. So if it were to bounce from this zone, what do you think the logical conclusion for Bitcoin is? It would go down. All right, inverse correlation. So as we go down, Bitcoin go up. As we bounce from this zone, it goes up, Bitcoin go down. So how does that tie in to one of the trade setups that we were looking at, or that I'm looking at, right? Not financial advice, obviously. But it gives Bitcoin some room to run. But if we see this hit at about the same time, let's get rid of this, just so we're not creating confusion. If we see Bitcoin move its way up to the previous week high, I'm going to put that on there for now. But then we come over to where, USDT dominant. Sorry, clicking through all the wrong stuff. If we see this, where it comes down to a clear area of support, the previous week low, that's something you got to pay attention to. And so you'll have confluence between the charts, which is nice. Now, what I'll say that small hesitation that I don't like is the repeated test of this level. From just technicals, if you're just looking at the chart, you're not taking into consideration order flow or the order book or any of that stuff. I don't like repeated tests of the same level, especially 3. But here or there, it aligns. And if it aligns, I'm definitely going to have to consider it. So USDT dominance, take a look at it. You know, it could help you out, potentially. All right, over to the chat real quick. What's up to the homies? I got JR Prince in the house. He's got a YouTube channel. Go check him out. Also has a very nice Discord. Great dude. Cool. 10 likes right now. 10 likes. We need 50, fam. And I know I don't get 50 people during a live stream, but I'm going to keep shilling that. All right? I'm going to keep shilling that. I'm going to put it when I start posting my links. Hopefully that drives some people in here. But we're going to get there. That is the goal. We are going to get there. And once we're steady with 50, we're going to move it to 100. Because we are going to grow. I'm giving you guys the sauce. I'm giving you more. I think I'm giving you more value than most channels. You can trade live, and that's relatively helpful because you see the process. You see the art of going through it. But at the same time, there's a huge delay. It's really hard to trade live. Unless you know the strategy, you have to know it, right? And if you don't, you don't really know, should I pull the trigger here? Because there could be this intricate detail or this nuance that somebody's looking at that you're not even considering because it's really hard to articulate everything at once. All right, let's look at Ethereum real quick. We've already talked about that. I did like Ethereum better than Bitcoin for a long position. Once we got above, we had a trade setup that we were looking at for Bitcoin shift in structure, basically right there where the shift in structure was. That has maintained. Support is underneath of you. It's a good look for Ethereum. I mean, it's already filled the gap. It's already come up and tested the low. That's what we really want to see for Bitcoin, right? You can see the parallel between the two, and Ethereum has actually already filled that move up. So is it a precursor to come, maybe, for Bitcoin? Possibly. Possibly. All right, but it's already made that move. So, as we're sitting in this range, looking at Ethereum, I mean, it would be hard for me to, I mean, you can try to play the range, right? You're looking at intraday, you're looking at scalping. It's on the table if you want to play this range. Obviously, you know, you're looking between about 18.4 and 1960. So you're looking somewhere in here. The range is open for play right now. As this extends further to the right, and this range kind of continues to extend, then, you know, you start looking at that breakout retest continuation. Right? What do I mean by that? Well, now that we have a range, let's go ahead and mark that right here just for a second. All right, so we have this range that's developing. What I'm talking about is, hey, come up, look at this, and then look for some potential upside. Breakout, retest, continuation. after you have a certified range that's on the table. So keep a look-see for that. Vice versa. All right, let's say you break out of the range, not a wick. You get closes below the range. You get below the moving average. You get below the previous week low. You get below the quarterly pivot. Very key level. You get below where we had a shift in structure. I'm really thinking short for Ethereum in that case. Very much an if-then approach. If-then. Not too excited in the range. Some people love to trade that. They put their fixed range volume profiles on it. They look for the SFPs. I'm not against that. SFP of the value area high, SFP of the value area low. That's fine. If that's what you're into, you have the weekly pivot that aligns with the POC. That could be a strong level to see some sort of price reaction from there. Maybe you just play the value area low to the weekly pivot. All things that you can do. All things that you can do. Again, it's about being flexible. You know, what I put on X today, I said, don't fall in love with your plan. Be flexible. All right? Semper Gumby, we used to say in the Marine Corps. Always flexible. So anyways, I would love looking at a short down here, though. Like, if this were to happen, I would love looking for a breakout retest of these levels, and then that continuation down to the previous value area high where we had this range develop. And you got the monthly pivot. And it would be well within an order block. So that would be something that I would look for if that would happen. And then I would look for the continuation trade to the top side. Anything inside of here, kind of a war zone. It's up to you on how you want to approach that. But that'll be a dealer's choice there. Usernames in the house. What up to you, bro? Good to see you. Hype for ETH. What up, Rebel Moon? Thank you for being here. Much, much appreciate it. Yeah, man, I ain't hyping it. You know, ETH's not really my cup of tea, but I ain't saying I'm not going to trade it. I ain't that silly. If the trade setup is there, I'll jump on it. I just prefer Bitcoin. Bitcoin's kind of the daddy, drives the market. Long term, definitely not investing in Ethereum. All right, let's look at the Nasdaq real quick. I'll keep this pretty short. I know most of you here are for crypto. Gosh, oh yeah, it's all the way at the top. Started from the bottom, now I'm here. Oh, whoa, we got close. Look at that little dipsy-do. Man, we got real close. If you guys know, if you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, I have been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this for a long, long time. I didn't even know if it was going to come back, honestly, but here we are. It's on the table. I can finally say it is on the table. Let's look at these pullbacks. I just want to measure. I'm interested in that. Okay, we know what this was. All right, that's 26%. And we know what this was. This was the tariff fiasco. 15%. And 10%. So what brings us down about 12%. To retest the highs there. You have a high volume node below. Let's update this. Yep, that's good. So 0.382, 0.5. Dude, I like that area for the NASDAQ. If you guys trade the NASDAQ, again, what I like to, I guess I can't say recommend, what I would utilize if it was me, is SQQQ and TQQQ. Or you go on the exchanges. Good opportunity here to shill one of them, 2-bit, 0% fees on spot. That's all I'm going to do for you, but I do have links for Bit Unix and 2-bit. Guys, you save 20%. Not only that, is in the Discord, I have bots and automation and all kinds of stuff in terms of BYDFi, 2-bit. You'll get access to the trade setups that they actually post. I have to put that behind a wall. I can't, it's not, you don't have to pay for it. Literally, you just sign up for an account, but they post those. So 2-bit and BYDFi actually post those setups. So I have to kind of put those behind a wall a little bit. Otherwise, they wouldn't be happy with me. But anyways, use those. It's 20% off your trading fees. I mean, that's to understand how that works. I'm forfeiting a portion of my what I get for the transaction fees, right? I'm forfeiting that for you guys. So you're going to pay the fee to the exchange regardless. It's just you can give a piece of that to me by using a link. It's really that simple. All right. Let's look at gold.
Love gold.
I love gold. Man, that is down and away. So, what we talked about quite a bit was, hey, the moving average has kind of worked its way over, and you can see a clear trend to the downside. However, let's go ahead and extend that out. Is there hopium for gold? Maybe. Maybe there is. You're retracing all the way back to here, though. All right, this was the last real area of support. Huge order block there. Let's get rid of this. That's kind of plugging up. I mean, just look at all the nonsense that's going on right here. I would say for me, like if I was looking at this, if you were trying to take a position on gold right now, keep an eye on this level here at about 39 to about 4,000. Seems to be a real area of interest. Come back left on the chart, you see the reaction there. All right, that's where you had certified support. And then underneath of you, I mean, you have the yearly pivot as well. That's certified. All right, yearly pivot, that's certified. But you got your previous month low, you got your previous week low, you got an order block. I mean, you got a lot going on down here between 39 and 4K. Be very, very careful. Obviously, you have a lot of resistance above you with the monthly, the previous week high, not such a big deal, especially if you're holding that long term. But you got the monthly pivot, the quarterly pivot, and the trend reaper moving average above you. What I can say is that if you're looking on this daily, one thing I do like to see, look at the trend reaper. It is gaining some momentum. Price action flat. Trend reaper saying, hey, we're building some strength here. Building some strength. Now, if you're wondering what the diamonds are, it's not like buy or sell diamonds. The way I coded this was that those diamonds actually show you stochastic crosses. All right, I didn't want stochastic on my chart. I just wanted to know when it would happen. So a couple things that happen. So just so you understand the colors are overlaid on the candles, and what that's really telling you, especially when you see the pink, is that you're pushing into overbought or oversold. That's generally what it's saying, and then there's going to be a transition. Let's look at the 5-day. And the reason I did the stochastic crosses, and you can see the 5-day is actually building some momentum there as well, is because Eric Crown has a strategy, credit to him, that is on the 5-day, and it uses stochastic and the Bollinger Band Width profile. So the ones to the top, that's basically telling you end of the trend, volatility incoming, the ones at the bottom, right? So right now we have basically crossed the threshold. So what you would be looking for here, interesting enough on the 5-day, what you would be looking for, now that we've kind of entered into the region of volatility that we'd be looking for, you would want to see a stochastic cross to the upside. So that would be a white diamond. So you get those two things on the 5-day, good opportunity. And I would say that would likely coincide with breaking through the moving average, which would really build you some momentum, right? You would be seeing a breakout in terms of the price action on the chart. You would also hit 2 wickets of Crown's strategy there as well. So you could see potentially some upside for gold here in the near future. You would just like to see it break some of these key levels of resistance right now. We got Mormon Duke in the house. What up to you? Good to see you. Said his app button is not working, but hey man, thank you for being here. Much appreciate it. But yeah, potential breakout on the horizon for gold. I'd say keep an eye on that if you're into that sort of thing. Let's see. Let's do one more. We've already known Cardano's beginning this. Oh, that's a big move for Cardano though. Okay. All right. Let's get that out of the way. Nice little move. 5%. Nothing too crazy. You are getting some horizontal price action. I'm not too interested until get over about 19. 19 cents, you get over there looking for that impulse move through the zone. Let's get off the 5-day. That just doesn't break it down for you good enough. Over the quarterly pivot. So, I mean, step one, break this moving average, the trend reaper moving average, value area high, the previous week high, getting over all that BS, getting over the quarterly pivot. Long way to go, right? That's a healthy move to the upside, but that gets you over most of the resistance. And I would look for that breakout retest. So what you need to see here for Cardano is an impulse move, right? Big body candle pushes through the zone, pushes through the quarterly pivot. Some people just say with, some kind of momentum or whatever. That's kind of how, with authority, conviction. They're basically just talking about an impulse move, right? It's just a big body candle. That's what they mean. That's what they're talking about. I don't know that people really break that down for you. But anyways, you get that impulse move through, you go over the quarterly pivot. This is where you look for the potential entry. And obviously, I guess I have to be careful of that. That's where I would look for a potential entry on Cardano at about 19. Keeping my stop loss below this area. So that's what I had on there. I took it off just to clean up the chart a little bit, but we'll rehash that real quick. You can be below, you might even be able to squeak below the moving average, and you will be able to. So understanding what's going to happen here. If price continues to push to the upside, not saying it's going to, let's be clear about that, but if it does, all right, you will certainly be able to have a stop loss below the previous week high at this point, that's definitely going to change. All this stuff's going to move based on price action moving to the upside. Right now, if you're looking at the moving average, the trend reaper moving average, that's going to start to work its way. It's going to go horizontal, then probably start to trend to the upside, which I think at that point would fall within the stop loss as well. So you would have that to kind of protect you, right? That's part of this, right? It's part of the game. When you're looking at risk to reward and you're looking at, anticipation of price action and getting ahead of it, this is a really important part. You got to take those things into consideration because those things are going to move by the time it gets to the area that you could be looking at for a trade setup. And so there's all things to consider if it's worth your time. Is the juice worth the squeeze, right? And if you put this down, you're like, hey, I can get close to a 3-to-1. You're over that 2-to-1. Check, that's good. And you're looking at a potential 17% move. And that takes you back to the low, right? Where you had this move to the downside, right? Pink candles usually stand out quite a bit when you get pretty quick moves. Also supply, demand, those kind of things you need to think about. But also an order block, right? So you have a lot sitting up here right now, around 22 cents or so. I think is a good area. This would be more obviously like swing, but could be an opportunity. Again, not a huge Cardano guy. I do have a bag of it. I don't know what's going on with Cardano. I know a lot of it, the total value locked. There's been a lot of negative metrics in terms of Cardano. Transactions, people actually just using it in general is down substantially. I think a lot of people, especially younger, have trended towards Solana. And that's something I haven't looked at in quite a bit. You know what we got to do? We ain't let the Soul Train out in a minute. I haven't been trading Soul. And you guys know I was beating that up. I think it was about 121. Just crushing. Yeah, right here. Just crush this level. This was a money maker for me last cycle. Just over and over and over again. A little closer to 124. All right. What are we looking at? That still ain't pretty. I'm gonna be real with you. That kind of looks like a PO3, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and it fell all the way through. It did try to reestablish the range. That would have been a good thing if you could have held that. But ultimately, it almost looks similar. It looks very similar, right? Staying here, you're below the range lows. Comes back up, takes liquidity, and then does it start to work its way down again. Man, that's risky business there for Solana. I couldn't say take a long from here, especially if you're trying to stay in a position for any amount of time. I mean, look at that. Look at how that box extends, and then look at how everything consolidates into that area with the quarterly and the weekly pivots, the moving average, all fall within that box, and the shift in structure. All fall within that box. Horizontals, man, I'm telling you. Like when you see price action get respected on a horizontal level consistently over and over again. And then you see, this is what this right here is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about an impulse move, right? And this is why some of these pattern traders get beat up. You get that impulse move through, taking a long from here, that's off the table. You got the close below. Look, big body candle. Then I'm not thinking long at that point. If it's a wick, see to the left, if it's a wick, then you would consider a long position. But if you see a big body candle, an impulse move through with conviction, whatever they like to say, that's when you start thinking shorts. Your bias should skew towards shorts. And if you go to lower time frames, you see right here, retest. Okay, impulse move through, retest, especially if you go to lower time frames, retest of the lows, right? So it retested that level. What was support, it flipped it into resistance, short that B, and you can see it. Came back up, tried it again. Boom. Now, remember what I was saying, those third, retest. All right, so we had a retest, almost made it for a retest, not quite. And then third time or fourth, it'd be up to you on if you want to count this one or not. On that fourth time, what'd you get? There's that damn pink candle again, pushing right through the zone. So, and then you're starting to look for, in this case, you would have been looking for a breakout retest. Now, this one did not, right? It kind of fizzled. You didn't really get that reaction. It just fizzled. Look at it. Ascending level of resistance going into that area of support. So that one would have been tough. That would have been one of those times where like you could have thought about taking a position if things would have aligned. Full transparency, like I would have totally thought about taking a long on coming back down to the retest here. That's where, you just put the stop loss in, and if it doesn't hold, it doesn't hold, and you just live to fight another day. But again, Bitcoin's daddy. So I haven't gone through, like when I look at these things, I got to go back and I got to look at Bitcoin and I got to see what Bitcoin's doing because Bitcoin's driving the market. If Bitcoin is not consolidating or moving to the upside, right? If there was potential at this point that Bitcoin was going down, then for me, when it's trading altcoins, then I'm probably not going to do it. Because this is what you see over and over again with Bitcoin and the altcoins. It's whack-a-mole. It's whack-a-mole. That's what I call it. Bitcoin makes a move up, pushes through a zone, consolidates, and then you just start seeing the altcoins go pew, pew. And then you're sitting here trying to catch it. You're trying to catch it. It's whack-a-mole. And you'll see people rotate. They'll be like, they'll be in Cardano and like it didn't pop, but Solana did. So they jump over to Solana because they think that's going to be the hotness and that's going to go up. And then that ends up going down. And then Cardano just popped, right? And then you're like, damn it, I missed the one with Cardano because I moved it over to Solana, and it's whack-a-mole. Because retail, you guys, I won't say you guys, retail's crazy. They're trying to get that quick buck all the time. Anyways. Cool. I'm calling that good. I think that was probably one of my more informative sessions, especially in the beginning. If you guys are just tuning in, go back. I really broke down Bitcoin, how I look at it, looking at the order book, the order flow, how you tie that into some of these key levels. And it's applicable. You can use this in other places, right? It doesn't have to just be tied to that. And you guys can use that going forward when you're looking at a key level. If you identify something on the chart that you feel strongly about, try it out. Try it out. Go over to the order book, the order flow, and start using that as a trigger. As, as like, hey, this is when I might pull the trigger based on seeing the market react to a level that I've identified. I think it's solid. There's a solid argument that, yeah, man, statistically, I can tell you my trading, my profitable or my percentage win has gone up exponentially since I've started looking at the order book. Sick. Let's see. You guys are in 2-bit, the daily Degen. You guys are getting beat up. I'll leave that in there. What I'll do is I'll just put the stop loss of, what did you guys took a short, right? Put that above. If it goes back up there, it'll close out. Let's put the TP down by the VWAP, the likely area to see a bounce, or at least kind of a magnet. What you can see right now is an ascending level of support, though. I would say the odds are sketchy at best in terms of that one playing out for you. You guys did win the trade yesterday. I let it stay, and then I pretty much did this, kind of bracketed the price action, put a stop loss, and TP, and ended up winning. So good job on you guys for the daily Degen today. And we'll see. Follow up with me in the Discord if it. I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it plays out. All right, cool. I'm about to get out of here, fam. Much appreciated. Crypto Crank, what up to you, bro? You're late, man. You missed some alpha. I know you're not going to go back and look at it, but maybe I'll put some shorts out. I definitely broke it down today, man. But good to see you. If you guys don't know, Crypto Crank is doing this live. He's trading. He's putting some big Skrilla. And he's got some funny ass quotes too. If you ever listen to him. What does he say? The Diddy Bitty Tango, all kinds of stuff, man. He's a trip. But good dude. Definitely support him. Like I said, JR's out there. Support him. Everybody that's doing it, man. It's a community. No shade. You know, if I like you, trust me, I'll recommend you to everyone. If I don't like you, I'm just going to stay quiet, right? I'm not going to, I just won't say anything, right? I'm not out here to throw shade at people, but much love to you guys. Thank you for being here. Definitely appreciative of that. So that being said, I'm going to get out of here for the day. You guys have a great day. Much love to you. As always, trade safe. Be safe. I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.